What's up, you guys? How are you? All right, I'm a little fired up today, just
lemonade?
to warn you. It's not lemonade, it's water with lemonade. I got these new jars, you guys. I'm pretty excited about them. They're blue.
She thinks she's moonshining.
Yeah, with water. Anyway, I'm a little fired up today, so fair
Moonshine's
warning that Brandon just said breathe, and he's trying to, like, sidetrack me. But anyway, happy Monday. How are you guys? Give us a hello when you jump on. All right, today we're going to talk about, you guys, your six-pack won't save you. Hi, Nate.
Nate?
So, if you saw, hi, Mike, did you make it?
Mr. Potter, did you make the travels all right, buddy? Hope you're well.
If you saw Brandon's
Miss ya.
post, Brandon's tired. It was like, do you think a six-pack or wearing size 4 jeans, which both of us have and currently are, is going to save you? Does
I
that
do
make
not
you?
wear a size 4 jeans.
You do. I saw them. Well, I don't have a six-pack, so I'm going to leave that to you guys to decide which one of us has one of those
Size
things.
4? Guys aren't in that.
All right, so can you see this picture? Brayden just pulled this up. All right, can you see this picture? Yes? Heads up? Yeah, you can see this? You can see Brandon's 24 pack, which is disgusting when you're a girl. Hi, Brandon.
Disgusting? Thanks.
It's amazing, but also disgusting
Thanks. She
that
married this.
mine will never look like that.
She
All right,
married this.
we digress.
So the reason why Courtney, I believe, is showing you this is, so this picture was taken in October of 2014. All right, so you're up there.
13.
Glare. No, it's 14. You're in 14.
No, you didn't. Carson was 5 months old. You got it in 13.
No. Yeah, time flies. Either way, all right. So October of that year. Now, 2 months. So this was taken in a CrossFit competition that we did in Las Vegas. Nevada. Gee, Chris is on fire.
We have a story, you guys.
yes.
I'm just not sure what it
Yes.
is.
So it was in Reno, Nevada. I ended up taking 5th in a competition full of essentially CrossFit Games athletes. And so just to kind of heighten, the whole point of that is I was in a realm of high fitness. Okay, so not based off what it was, in a realm of high fitness and essentially aesthetically looking okay. I mean, there I was probably 5, maybe 6% body fat and able to function at a high capacity. Now, fast forward 2 months from that, that's when, if you saw earlier, we were talking a couple episodes earlier, that's when I actually contracted and ended up getting H1N1 and ended up getting sick at another competition that we did 2 months after that. Now, the reason why we're talking about this, you guys, and the reason why it's kind of gotten me a little bit fired up, not as much as this one, but a little me kind of fired up, is one of the big things we've seen kind of going around lately is that a lot of memes circulating. Memes are always popular, but a lot of memes circulating essentially showing, I've seen especially 2 of them showing, male athletes or male people who exercise who happen to have, they have a six-pack, they look like they exercise, and, the headline under it or over it is essentially, "See, COVID does not discriminate." And so the reason why I want to talk about this is because first and foremost, hopefully by you seeing that, is I will agree, viruses do not discriminate whether or not you get them. Okay, so just to be let that known, I know firsthand, like I was in like the optimum shape, at least I thought I was, but I was not healthy. Okay, so the point of what we want to make today, you guys, is even though I was in an aesthetically realm, I was in a very high fitness realm, that I was still not healthy. And so when I ended up getting H1N1, I ended up going into the basis of whether or not I would imagine if we didn't end up going to the ER when we did, fast forward 6 hours, whatever it may be, I probably would not have survived it. Okay, so yet again, I'm not underplaying any of this. I know the severity of what viruses can bring about in all of these things, but the whole point of this is also in the realm of what we are traditionally in the health, fitness, and that type of hat that we wear. Six-pack abs and size 4 jeans or supermodel, all those things carry a lot of sexy slogans to them, right? They carry a lot of marketing aspects to that. And so what I want to get out to you guys is, after seeing a lot of those memes going around of like, see, it does this, it does that, there's a lot of bases that don't get talked about when we're talking about health and wellness, right? Like there's that notion of, she's slim, she wears this, right? Like, she can do X, Y, Z. She must be ultra health, right? Like, what do? You look so amazing, right? Like, you got 6-pack abs, right? Like you must never get sick. No, there's other things that are going through there. If you haven't watched our load versus capacity episode, I highly recommend you go back and watch that, because everything that we do in life, you guys, I don't care if you have a 6-pack abs, I don't care if you're 40% body fat. Everything we do, every decision that we make, obviously some of us have pre-existing genetic exposure to certain things, but other than that, everything that we do stacks on top of itself, right? Like every decision I make throughout the day stacks and stacks and stacks. If I don't get enough sleep, it stacks a little bit bigger box. If I'm emotionally distressed, being that I've been in this situation for the last 2 months, my box of emotional stress has probably increased, which in turn pushes me closer to my capacity. And so when I tend to get a virus or I get sick or whatever, all of a sudden that's going to stack and that's going to push me over my capacity. Thus is why the sense of like, well, it doesn't discriminate. No, it doesn't, but it's looking at a much broader realm of these things, of seeing what are your decisions that you're making every single day? What is your emotional stress? What is your feelings? What is your environment like? Are you moving? Are you getting sunshine? Are you drinking enough water? Like, are you doing simple things, right? Like, it may not be easy, but it's very simple, right? And so that's why we want to talk about this today, is because yet again, the more things get stirred up and the more things get thrown around and more fear and more things get kind of digested. And yet again, now that more and more statistics are coming out and showing that 94% of the people that are really getting severity of the effects of this thing are having at least 1 to 2 plus, right? 1 to 2 at least signs of some other ailment that's going on, whether that's hypertension, obesity, diabetes, high blood, whatever it may be, they have at least 1 to 2 of those symptoms going on. So the point of this, you guys, is it doesn't matter if you have 6-pack abs. It doesn't matter if you wear a size 4. What are you doing to yourself on a day-to-day basis based off your decisions that you're making? And what is your internal environment actually looking like?
So we thought I was fired up, and he wasn't fired up, right? When we talk for like 6 minutes at a time, we're clearly fired up. But here's the thing, you guys. Let's talk about when Brandon got H1N1, okay? Yes, he was very sick when we took him to the ER, right? It was scary. He was also in the middle of a competition. He had coached every single day and was low on sleep. We had a 5-month-old baby. We were running businesses. Like, there was a lot going on. Now, Brandon was actually really sick for, I asked him this question before we started, probably 3 days, right? He had to quarantine in our bedroom because Carson was 5 months old, and that was a very dangerous disease virus for kids. So he had to quarantine for 2 weeks. He was bored out of his mind for like 9 days because he couldn't leave his bedroom for her safety, right? But like once he got it, even though his body was at a stressed enough point that he could contract it, he fought it pretty well, right? We have a friend who got COVID and said the same thing. He's like, yeah, there were some things that I was doing. I was stressed out. I was these things. But when I got it, yeah, I felt really bad for some days, and then I was actually okay. Okay, again, we're not diminishing this here. But what I want you guys to understand is like, so many people when they come into the gym, it's like, well, I want a 6-pack, I want to do this, I want to do that, right? Like we hear us say this all the time. We're chasing an external thing, thinking it's going to cause an internal result, right? So sometimes we're chasing a size of jeans, thinking it's going to make us internally happy. Or maybe subconsciously we think it's going to make us healthy, right? Like there are a lot of women out there that are skinny fat, and I was one of them for a very long time. I was underfed, I was overstressed, I had a terrible relationship with food in my body. I was not healthy, but I could wear a size 2. That doesn't mean anything, right? Like it doesn't mean anything. And so you need to look at yourself, and you need to look at the people around you, and you need to go, are you doing day in and day out, or taking steps to do the things to actually make yourself healthy? Because if we're in this place, and I'm sorry that I'm fired up about this, but we're in this place, we're going to lock down the country for 4 more months. God forbid we actually say what's going on. Okay. There's a lot of stuff going on with money right now. I believe that to be true, right? But we need to put back the responsibility to ourselves. It is your job to take care of yourself. It is your job to educate yourself. It is your job to go, what is health and what am I doing about it? Okay. And it's your job to look in the mirror and go, I've got a lot of things happening in my life that I can change if I choose to. Okay. But locking yourself down and never leaving your house for the next 2 years isn't helping you. So stop it, right? If 2 months ago you had said, God, you know what? What can I do right now? Can I look at my nutrition? Can I understand how my body works? Can I see what's going on emotionally? Can I look at this stuff and pull back the layers? You'll be a totally different person, stop smiling, than like you would be right now. But if you were like, I'm gonna hunker down, I'm not gonna feel any of my emotions, I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna smoke pot, I'm gonna eat fast food, and I'm gonna hope this all goes away, and God forbid, hopefully it never gets near me because I'm gonna be okay. It's gonna get near you, and it's gonna do bad things to you when it does. And I don't care if it's COVID, I don't care if it's the flu, I don't care if it's any of those things. You are not taking care of yourself, and you need to step up and do those things, right? I'm sorry. This is why I'm so fired up today. There are places opening across the board. All of this stuff can happen. Yet the places like gyms that can help people, no one's even talking about it, right? Like, we did what we needed to do. We stayed in when we needed to stay in. We did all of those things. We took care of our people. We showed up every day for you guys. And now we're 2.5 months later. We still don't know when we can open our gym to normal capacity or half capacity. And a quarter capacity. And it makes no sense, right? It makes absolutely no sense that places that are actually helping people take care of themselves and build a defense against sickness have no idea what's going to happen to our business. So I'm super fired up because I think there was a time and a place, and that's awesome if we flatten the curve. Who knows? And nobody's talking about the numbers. But like, now we got to get to the point where we say, what's actually going on? And you are the only one that can take ownership for your health and your wellness and your well-being. So stop chasing size 4 jeans. Stop chasing the six pack. Look inside and go, what do you need to heal? Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. Where are you at? And what steps do you need to take to get to a different place? Stop smiling.
I'm just impressed you didn't curse.
That was actually very impressive. I almost did a couple times, you guys. When I am passionate, I cuss a lot. But seriously, you guys, like, we love you guys, and we give it to you straight, and we teach you, and we honor you, and we honor where you're at, and we get it. But sometimes we gotta hear the tough love. Sometimes we gotta hear the truth. You are the only person that can change your life. And if you're in a place where you need to change it, and you have no idea how, cool, reach out, find a coach, talk to us, do something, get to a place where you feel comfortable and confident in how you are emotionally, how you are physically, how you feel in your body, how you're taking care of your relationships. All of that stuff is crucially important. Get your head out of the sand and do something about your life. And if you're already doing it, I bless you, that's amazing. We're always learning, we can always learn. We're not perfect, right? We're doing it too, but like, don't just sit back and like hope. We did a video on this, like the very first thing. Don't sit back and hope that you're not going to come in contact with something that could harm you, because that's not going to happen.
Yet again, we can't see it.
Right.
I didn't see it.
Right.
I mean, I had no idea I was going to get sick. You know, I thought I was in the best shape of my life. Still ended up in the ER. Thought I was going to die. Was super dehydrated. I'm like, there was a lot of markers that allowed me to lead up to that point, right? Like, there was a lot of things. And knowing firsthand, I'm knowingly haven't contracted COVID, right? But at the same time, like, I have gone through a pandemic that I did contract, right? Like, do understand like the severity of what that can cause. But also looking back at my lifestyle, what I was doing at that moment in time was not adding up to me functioning at optimum health. So if you are in the scenario of like, shoot, you know what? I look at the list and I am obese. I do have hypertension. I am pre-diabetic, right? Like, you do have the power to shift and make changes in your life, right? Like, that's why we get so fired up in this, you guys, is because we want to give back the power to you and let you understand that no matter what you are going through, you hold the key and you hold the answers, right? Like, you know inside yourself what is right and what is wrong. It's just that we have so much built up external crap that we filter ourselves through in life that it's hard to see those things sometimes. And so if you are that person who's like, I'm not going out, I'm not leaving my house till next June because I don't want this thing and I'm waiting for this vaccine that may or may not work, and by the time this thing evolves and blah, 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 right? Like, give yourself the power, right? Like, give yourself the power by making the decisions that you can every single day to move you into the realm of better health, so you can feel confident that, who knows, maybe you do or maybe you don't come in contact with this thing, but when you do, you're going to have the ability to at least make a difference as far as how your body responds to it, as opposed to where if you are in that scenario right now, if you do come in contact with it, what potentially could happen.
Right. And like we said, you guys, I mean, a lot of you know what we do with the shift method, with the shift project. Some of you don't, right? But if you don't know what we do, Like the world is in, people like to live in this compartmentalized thing. Okay, well, if I just focus on my nutrition. Okay, if I just focus on my movement. Okay, if I just focus on my feelings, right? Like we look through these lenses and you're like, but there's this whole other world, right? And what we do with the shift method is that we're going to help you look at all of the parts of your life and understand that they all go together, right? We talk about Brandon, like his nutrition was on point. His exercise was on point. His stress levels were out of control. His sleep was awful, right? Like the amount of other things going on, he wasn't dealing with his emotions. Like his environment probably wasn't the best. His mindset
I was
wasn't.
stacking every single day,
Yeah.
every single day until something came along because my system was so detrimentally just, that's what I'm saying to say, but essentially it was so overloaded that it didn't have anything left to fight. Like literally when I started feeling the effects of it, like I would work out, go do it, throw up, go do another exercise. Like we did that, like that was the entire week leading up to that. Like I probably did 7 workouts in a matter of like 8 hours at like a competition intensity, right? So like it's no wonder why I felt the effects of what I was, right? But at the same time, I wasn't doing myself any justice leading into that. And so you may not be exercising or doing those things to that capacity, but what are you doing on a day-to-day basis? Are you not sleeping? Right? Like, are you stressed to the hill? Are you worrying? Are you watching nothing but news all day long that is sending you nothing but overloaded crap, just paranoid, fear-based messages so they can make money off of you, right? Like just take a step back and see what you're doing to yourself on a much bigger realm, rather opposed like whether you're not on a diet or exercising or doing those type of things, because this is much bigger than basically it's much bigger than what your abs look like and what dress size you wear.
Right. And that's why we do what we do, right? Because we had to get our eyes open to the fact that like everything worked together and that all of these pieces and parts went together. And that's why we developed the shift method, because we want to walk you guys through, because a lot of you guys are like, okay, maybe this is true. How do I do it? Right. And like what we do with our coaching is we walk you through a proven system of how do we go from here? How do we go from this process where we're not healthy emotionally, mentally, physically? And maybe it's just one of those, right? How do we take you to that next level? How do we make consistent shifts so that we actually understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we get to shift it? Because when you start to do that, life becomes easy. You get to be healthy. You get to be happy. You get to be underwhelmed, right? Like life goes back to being easy and flowy. And like so many of us think like, I've tried everything. If you're in the camp where you're like, I've tried everything, nothing works. When you think about health, you haven't tried everything because you haven't done this. And I guarantee you, if you haven't done this, you're probably missing a step of what you do. This is 20 years of our experience, our own life experience, our coaching, all culminating into a program that can actually take you from a place of hustle and stress and diet and frustration into a place of flow and ease and grace and abundance. And like, if that's where you want to go, you need to send us a message, because we want to help you. We want to see what we can do for you. If we're not the ones that can help you, we'll find someone that can help you. But like, just don't stay stuck, right? Don't hope for somebody else to save you and that like life is just going to fix itself around you. It's your job. It's your choice. And you need to go do it right now. All right. I'm good now. I love you guys. Chris, thanks for the on fire. We'll see you tonight at the gym. Small groups. All right, guys. We love you and we'll talk to you soon.
There you go.